A demolition exercise turns bloody as residents of Millennium City in Kaswa resist attempts to flatten their homes. Was shot in the confrontation as some soldiers, whose real identities are not yet clear, fired warning shots to disperse the angry residents. Some of the victims shot in the head is one of the victims, I beg your pardon, shot in the head is currently in a coma. So who are these soldiers and on whose authority did they descend on the Millennium City? Why is Kaswa and surrounding environs constantly plagued by these developmental challenges? Who is responsible for bringing sanity to Ewutu Senya East? This is today's big story with me, Stephen Nt. Now, angry residents of Millennium City in Kaswa earlier in the day charged against some armed men who had come to the community in the company of officials of the 21st Century Construction Company to conduct a demolition exercise there. Following a shooting incident which injured some residents, the angry mob mounted roadblocks basically to prevent the armed men from leaving the community until the police arrived at the scene to take control of the situation. So who are these armed men and on whose authority did they descend on the Millennium City? We'll be getting some answers from the Ghana Armed Forces, but right now our reporter Derek Echo Sam, who witnessed the whole chaos, is joining me in the studio for some discussions on the matter. Echo, it's great to have you. You've been up all day, and tell me exactly what happened. And we know on record that one man was shot in the head. We're not sure whether he died or is still in coma. We told he's in coma, but what happened?
Well, it's a long story, but let's cut it short. At about 7:30, I had a call that I had to follow up on something that was supposed to be a normal press conference by residents who felt they were being taken for a ride. So I had to go there to follow up to see what happened there. So I got there around 9 o'clock, and then the residents said they didn't have too many pressmen around, so they would rather stage a protest to an area, to one of the houses that were supposed to be demolished by one Kofi Asma, who is the CEO of 21st Century Construction Company Limited. Kofi Asma.
That man was there today. He wasn't.
Yeah, he later came to the police station. I'm sure. I think later the police went to his office, and so he said we should proceed to the police station. He would come there, then he later came there. So the residents went there, and then in the course of their journey, they saw some trucks coming in filled with military men, in shades and in cabs, covering their faces.
All the military gear
with guns that were already cocked and ready for fire. And from their faces, you realized
they were serious.
They meant business.
And of course, they shot, and one person was injured.
Yes,
3 people were injured.
3 people were injured. So you know, in the course of the journey, the residents were asked to retreat and return to wherever they came from. But they didn't listen to them. Yeah. They marched on.
And they mounted roadblocks and all of that.
The roadblocks came in later.
Okay.
So they marched on, and then when they got there, the military men formed a wall to prevent them from coming over. So the residents still didn't budge. And then they fired 3 warning shots into the air, so to disperse the crowd. And as we ran for our lives, we turned back, realized Obi, that's what we heard in an account. Somebody was lying down.
Right, Sam, I'll have you hold and I'll get onto the telephone lines now. I have ASP Christopher Dake, who is the police commander for the Millennium City Police. Good evening, sir, and thanks for joining us.
Good evening, sir, my brother.
I know that today has been a busy one for your men, especially as you went into Millennium City to restore order. I need to hear from you your version of exactly what happened and at what time the police made a decision to go there.
Thank you, my brother. I don't want to comment so much on this issue because the case is still under investigation.
Right.
But for the public consuming now, I will say a little. All started yesterday when I had a call from one of the chiefs around Millennium City, Sector 4, a village called Kojoku, that there's some issue going on there. They will need my assistance. I was there with my men, and behold, I met about 300 to 350 people gathered at the chief parish. And our problem was that they learned the chief executive of Millennium City, that's 21st century, one Mr. Kofi Asma, intend demolishing their building today. So they wanted to inform me and if any assistance. I talked to them and give them the assurance that I'm going back to the office and I'm going to invite Mr. Kofi Asma and some few minutes time they should follow up so that we all sit down and then iron out things.
The matter.
And behold, around 1 p.m., that was yesterday, I invited the chief executive, Mr. Kofi Asma. He's project site manager. One, Mr. Poetru, is security coordinator. And all of us, including the concerned citizen, I mean the chief and his people, we also came, a delegate. He said that and decided that so far as everybody is owning the land, claiming the land belongs to
them.
Today, Mr. Asma and his group should suspend whatever action they intend doing so that today we can meet in the morning around 10 so that everybody will produce his document of the land, which we all agree on. And to my surprise, this morning I was in the office when a vehicle, a black 4x4 vehicle, came to the station and with 3 people wounded. And the one Yahaya who complained to me that yes, this morning they were there when they saw soldiers, Mr. Asma brought soldiers to the land and they were destroying their property. So they went there in their numbers and unfortunately the soldiers shot and it hit 3 of their people.
Right. So
I quickly ordered that they should be sent to the hospital because of their condition.
Okay. So if I understand you clearly, your narrative is that you went there to restore order, as you have already since yesterday been engaging the people in order to calm down tempers. So what's happening now in the community as of now? Is the place calm?
Yeah, as I'm saying, so you're hearing this information that people were shot, soldiers are on the ground there. I quickly informed my divisional commander, the regional commander, and the QIC, and mobilized policemen to the site. And behold, I saw about 23 soldiers, all armed, and with a lot of civilians in red band and other things. And I have to approach them. Luckily, within the shortest time, the divisional commander and the regional commander all came there, and we brought the situation down. We brought the soldiers to the police station, and 1 or 2 things were done. So we are looking forward to what happened next.
Right. Mr. ASP Christopher Dake will leave you here, and we will come to you as and when we need update on the situation. Thanks very much. And we also have on the telephone Mr. Frank Taki, who is a development planner. Mr. Taki, I know you were traveling when I called to get you to speak on this matter, but quickly, do you see the problems in the Ewutu Senya East area as a developmental one? I mean, especially because it's either today there are demolition exercises and then another day there are armed robbery incidents. I mean, what is happening in Kaswa? Is it what really is it? I don't know.
Well, I'm really not privy to what happened. looking at what you're saying or judging what you're saying, it's very typical. It's nothing unusual. This is basically what you get from uncontrolled development all over the country. It's not only Kasua. This is very symptomatic of all the outlying areas, suburban areas of Greater Accra region. Indeed, all the sprawling towns and cities. It's nothing new, actually.
Right. Mr. Taki, I know that as a development planner, you might say, for example, that one of the key challenges facing land ownership in that area and the ability of local government authority, the Utu Senior Municipal Assembly, or whoever is responsible in developing the area, may have been contributing factors in making people unable to get their land titles, etc., etc. Do you think that not much is being done to spearhead development in such areas, new development areas?
Well, I think there's a land project ongoing. I don't know how far they've gotten to, which tends to want to more or less regularize all these disparities. But these are things that have happened consistently over a long period of time. The case of Kaswa is nothing new. It started much long ago. So it's really consolidated into more like a little chaos, So it's nothing that you can say it started yesterday or something. It's much deep rooted. Yeah.
Right, Mr. Taki. Thanks very much for your time. So, Ekosam, let me wrap up with you. Okay. We've had concerns about the fact that these soldiers were unidentified. We didn't know exactly who they are. They came in unmarked vehicles. What have you picked up, or what information did you gather from the military high command?
Well, I've been speaking to Colonel Agrikwashi, and he actually asked that he wouldn't want to speak on this because for him the military police have taken over and they are investigating into the matter. But I asked him certain questions and then he granted the permission to air his views out. For him, he says that he doesn't really know whether or not today some people were sent out on official duties to any parts in Kaswa.
So literally it means that these soldiers were not authorized to go to this neighborhood. At least there's no official deployment in the Millennium City area.
Yes.
So we might say that they were there illegally, possibly.
Possibly. And the residents are also saying that they were there on the command of Mr. Asma.
Right. Ekosam, we're grateful for your time. Later on in the show, we'll be bringing in to the studio Tahiru Saliki, who is the Zongo chief of the Fete traditional area. He's also a resident of the Millennium City. We'll hear from him what the issues really are in terms of who owns what and whether Mr. Asma and his 21st Century Construction Company had authorization to pull down homes in this area. You're watching today's big story. We'll be right back. Right, welcome back to today's big story. We have in the studio Tahiru Abdallah, who is actually the Sarki, which is the term for chief, the Zongo chief of Fete Traditional Council. He's joining me in the studio. Good evening, sir. I don't know how to refer to you, to say sir or Sarki or chief. How are you?
I'm doing good. What
today, I'm fine, thank you. Today must have been a very traumatizing time for you and the people who live around the Millennium City area. So what is the problem? Is it that those who own lands there are not the rightful owners and that 21st Century is the rightful owner? Or what is happening? What started this whole process of demolition and which incidentally led to one person critically injured today?
It's not one person.
3 people were shot.
Yeah. Let's say it started a decade ago.
10 years ago.
Yeah. And one Mr. Asma owns a portion of land which the chief sold to him. But on agreement, he didn't pay even a penny to what he bought from the chiefs.
I see.
And where we are, where the demolition exercise happened, is Gomwa Bantama. But where they sold to Kofi Asma is Gomwa Buduburam.
I see.
So how can you jump from Gomwa Buduburam to Bantama? Even the Buduburam itself, you've not paid. And there is a lot of, let's say, we have the agreement paper there that shows that he didn't even pay a peswa.
I see.
And we've got so many judgment against him, Mr.
So you've actually gone to court.
Yes, so
you
many
have
times.
judgment that he
Yeah.
has no right
Yeah.
to encroach on these lands.
Very well.
But how is it that he managed to come in today with armed men, actually, to forcibly move people off from these parcel of lands?
No, actually, you know, Ghana, everybody, if you have money, you have the law. If you don't have money, you don't have the law. Upon judgment, not even one person, even the individual took Asma to court, one judgment against Asma, but to no avail. He doesn't listen to people. He used the police and the military to intimidate people on the land, unlawful demolition of buildings. So it all started. That was 2 weeks now. Whenever he tried to demolish buildings, people call me and ask me, "This is what is going on. So what's the bold step I need to take?" I go to the police, I inform them about what is going on, and we negotiate. They'll call him to order. So he tried, but he was able to demolish about 2 buildings. That was last week.
I see.
So this week he started. That was on Monday. Trying to demolish some buildings around. So we went to the police station, informed the district commander, told him about what's happening, and I can say the commander is good. He tried the possible means to bring calm to the community. He went around, talked to the people in the community. But yesterday, Asfa brought a machine to demolish the place. The police commander there stopped him, but he didn't stop.
He didn't stop.
So later on, we went there. The women, everybody around went there to stop, shout, and the commander said, "No. You can't force to demolish what without court order. So move the machine back to the police station." So they moved the machine. They went to the police station. The commander gave us time that by 9:30 a.m. we need to sit down, talk about how we need to come to a common terms.
We need to come to common agreement on what
so that
to
we
do.
can know what's going on. If really the land belongs to him or not, if there's a court order to demolish, even if the land belongs to him, I think they need to give him a court order before he demolishes a building
because
there.
people have invested their lives into properties. I must say that we are working the telephone lines to get the Municipal Chief Executive, Dr. Nuhu Adams, Municipal Chief Executive of Ewutu Senya East Municipal Assembly, to join our discussions. And when we got in touch with the Military High Command, the Public Relations Officer tells us that the military police has taken over investigations of what happened today, and the Ghana Armed Forces is not aware of any deployment of soldiers to the Millennium City area, which indeed has led to shooting incidents with one person critically injured. That person was shot in the head, and earlier he was feared dead, but we are getting reports that he's actually in a coma. We're praying that he could come out of this situation and join his family very soon. So this one person who has been shot and is holding on to life, do you know him?
Yeah, we know he's one of the people who are land in Millennium City.
So he was protecting his land,
property. Yeah.
His property.
Yeah.
He has wife and kids who you have spoken to.
Yeah, we went to their place, called them, talked to them, told them things that are going on, that they need to calm down. It will be okay. I called the person that I went there too. So things are under control for now.
And how is he doing? Have you been able to visit him in the hospital?
When on my way coming, I've learned they are taking him to the theater.
Taking him to theater. He needs surgery.
Yeah.
So what is the police telling you about his condition?
No, for now, no policeman is giving me any information about him, but I'm calling. I've sent people there to take care of him. So I've sent about 3 guys who are there, taking care of the injured people there. Who are trying to do their best to put.
So how many people have been injured in addition to him? 4 more. So he makes 5?
Yeah. No, he makes 4.
He makes 4.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me, you as a community leader, I know that you have told me that you've been in constant negotiation with the police and the 21st Century Construction Company. But beyond those that you've done, what are you doing to, one, ensure that your community members are protected and that they don't take the law into their own hands? Because I mean, Millennium City, you've had quite a number of issues lately. So what are you doing to?
For now, we've spoken to the people in the community. We've calmed them down. But the problem is, if Kofi Asma can take the law into his own hands, and the law cannot get hold of him.
Why is it that residents, when they take the law into their own hands, the law will get them? Is that your worry?
That's my worry. Because, you know, if a Guinea Falcon went into war in northern region, then what about properties? These are the things that create civil war, or let's say
confusion in society.
Yeah, because if a military man will come without his tag, without anything, that means it is illegal.
That's right.
If it is illegal, what do you need to do? We call the police. I call the regional minister himself, told him this is what's going on. We called the police, we called, and they don't want to. Later on, the pressure was more. But by then, I may say thank you to Mr. ASP Dake.
ASP Dake, he's the divisional commander of the place. So I'll have you hold Tahiru, and I'm joined on the telephone line now by Dr. Nuhu Adams, who is the municipal chief executive of the Ewutu Senya East Municipal Assembly. Good evening, sir, and thanks for joining us on our show. Good evening, sir. Good evening, Dr. Adams.
Yeah.
Yes, we are grateful that you could join us. Now, what we are hearing is a bit worrying to the extent that there is more like a litigation over ownership of the lands. There are the residents saying that Mr. Asma and his 21st Century Construction Company do...
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me, sir?
I can't hear well.
All right, so I'll speak clearly so you will hear. I'm saying that residents in the Millennium City are complaining that 21st Century Construction is illegally demolishing their homes. What information do you have about this development as a municipal chief executive?
Thank you very much. In the first place, the location of that facility is within a jurisdiction that is outside our jurisdiction. But security-wise, it's within my jurisdiction.
Okay.
But in terms of administratively, it's in the Gumwa East District Assembly.
Okay. All right. So,
however, because of the security, that's why I'll have to give some few comments.
Okay. Okay. So
it has been the usual thing that recurs every year. Sometimes every year or twice a year, you see them demolishing houses. And the reason is that the developer purports to have documents signaling that he is the bona fide owner, or the traditional authorities have sold a chunk of land, hectares of land to him, and therefore the court has ruled that it belongs to him. Meanwhile, the traditional authorities have also sold to other residents or other citizens. So they have already put their structures on this structure. They want to put up his estate. He just demolished a particular chunk of area and then put out his structures. These have been on and on. For the past 10 years, this thing has been recurring. Last 4 years, for example, then it was then the regional minister, who called a meeting, a RECSEC meeting, over these issues. And mostly his main clients are always security personnel. That is so that they can be able to fight out things. So I believe what happened, as we heard today, was there was a shootout between the company and
that's right. That's right. I mean, we're well informed about what exactly happened, but we were interested in asking questions about ownership of lands in that area and whether, in fact, that construction company had the legal mandate to remove people from plots that they also claim to have ownership over. So, Dr. Adams, we're grateful for your time, seeing that this area actually doesn't lie within your jurisdiction, but we're grateful that you made time to speak to us on the matter. Thanks a lot, and we're grateful. So Tahiru, we are now at the same position. What you have told us is that this has been ongoing for the past 10 years. But is 10 years not too long that you, the elders of this town, have not been able to put an end to it through the due process in the courts?
We've been to court for so many times. Courts, they'll give you judgment. They'll give you ruling upon ruling. But the police, ASMA will surely come back, demolish buildings. Even let's say these are premises that I own and I've won judgment, ASMA will still come and demolish with the police force. That's the problem.
So you're worried that the security services are joining in the demolition to remove. You feel that they're being unduly influenced?
Yeah, for sure.
But the divisional commander was helpful to you.
He came about 3 months ago.
Okay, so he's a new commander.
Yeah, a new commander. Maybe he's helping. I've learned the other time that the Kofi Asma, the real estate developer, said if he doesn't support him, he will find ways and means to take him off that place.
So you think this is some forceful authority from somewhere causing all these problems for your...
This is an issue that has been happening for so many years ago, and we've tried to put a stop to it. But I can, if passing through the legal way, they will not listen to you.
Tell me, I'm giving you 1 minute to tell the whole world what you want to be done in this situation to ensure that there will be lasting peace.
For sure, Asma made a statement, and that statement still keep on ringing in my mind, that they own NDC government. And this NDC government, no one can touch him. And I can see it is clear and true. But since he started this, after court or after whatever, he's still nail on whatever he's doing. And nobody can stop him too. If you go to a police station right now and Asma comes there and Asma says they should lock you up upon your whatever evidence you may have, they'll still lock you up.
Right.
Today he was arrested, but he's still released. Even the military force, the military who have been arrested, they were released. They were released. Even this without a tag and the number on the car shows an evidence that they are criminals. This alone is an evidence. They should have been put behind bars for their commanders to come
and confirm who they are.
Whether they are criminals or
they have authority.
Yeah, but this is not done.
Right. Tahiru Abdallah is a Seriki of the Fete traditional area of Ewutu Senya Traditional Council. My name is Stephen Enti, and the discussion will continue. I've told you already that the military the Ghana Armed Forces High Command is not aware of any deployment of soldiers to the area. What we don't know is whether the action which led to the shooting of some residents in the Millennium City was approved by the High Command. My name is Stephen Enti, and that's where we'll draw the curtains. Have a good week. Good evening.